Myself Ashish Kumar, and I take polity and governance in Vision IS. And before I start something from my own side, I believe that you must bring your own doubts in front of me. And if I am at all in a position to answer that, I'll be happy to do that. Instead of me being monologic, it should be dialogic. Okay, sir? Any problem which you feel is encountered by you regarding polity preparation, you can raise the doubt. Then I'll answer it, and that will be easy for you also to be part of the session. Any problem in polity preparation? सब बढ़िया चल रहा है बताओ सर anything which you want to sir Deepak anything which you want to ask from your side, any doubt? हाँ बोलो. How to approach the dynamic syllabus? What is dynamic about the syllabus? Example. Current relevance. ठीक है, that I'll be covering. Any other thing also which you want to ask? See, first of all, let me give you what I have to tell you from my own side. Let's make the distinction this way. My writing is similar to the Chinese script, so please bear with this. Prelims. What is the weightage of questions coming in pre? First of all, you have to understand this, because this will help you understand the importance of polity. Okay, sir? You know what is the weightage of the questions from polity in this pre-exam? कितने question आते हैं approximately? 10 to 15. 2012, around 22 questions came in polity. 22 question means 22% questions in polity, okay? And generally, you get around 12% to somewhere around 22% questions in pre. Out of 100 questions, 22 questions were from polity only, exclusively from polity. And if I take some other subjects which are actually overlapping with polity, it will be around 24 questions. So, बहुत बड़ा chunk है. And somehow if you are weak on polity, then if suppose you meet the scenario where you have 22 question out of 100, then it can be risky job, no? So polity has to be stressed upon, particularly for pre or mains mein dekho. See, mains in which paper you have, sir, polity and governance? Which paper? GS paper? GS2, very good. In GS paper 2 you have polity and governance, right, sir? Now let me give you a small breakup on this. We can broadly divide all the questions in GS paper 2 mains in 4 categories. 4 category में divide कर सकते हैं. One is hardcore polity. Other is governance. Third is government schemes. Fourth is IR. Okay. Now, what is the weightage of GS paper 2? How many marks? 250. All the GS paper 250, 250. And how many questions they are asking? They are asking 20 questions. And every question is almost 12, it is 12.5 marks per question. And the word limit is 200 words on an average. In 200 words, you have to write the answer. Right, sir? And see, the distribution I'll give you for 3 years. 3 साल में किस तरह से distribution आया था, you have it. Polity, you know how many questions came from polity only? Pure polity. This is the breakup. What I mean by polity is that, for example, he'll ask you a question on a pure polity subject, जैसे कि governor is in news or not? भाई governor आजकल खबरों में है. Which news came yesterday in newspaper regarding governor, sir? Arunachal Pradesh governor removed from office by center. अब ये governor है, मतलब you should maintain a register in which on daily basis एक register बनाओ, prepare a register, maintain a register, and on daily basis, date wise, do not write much on this register, just write the name of the topics. For example, yesterday a news came on governor, then write governor. Day before yesterday, for example, a news came on office of profit, then drop the word in the register, office of profit. सिर्फ एक word लिख दो. Then suppose question came on, let's say, not question, a topic came in newspaper regarding, let's say, parliamentary secretary. Then drop this word in the register, your own register, parliamentary secretary. Now suppose before that a topic came in the newspaper which is called as defamation. Then drop the word defamation in the register. इससे पहले question आया, since you know I am using these words which came in the newspaper as it is. For example, the question, this word came in the newspaper. Judicial supremacy. And parliamentary sovereignty. These words came in newspaper. You write those words in your register. Right, sir? This way, after every month, you'll have a list of topics on which you have to focus. Because he will also not make questions just out of the blue. He will make the questions selecting these topics only. For example, in 2012, question came on CAG. Because CAG means Comptroller and Auditor General. 2012 question came on CAG because CAG was in news. 2G scam, 3G scam, whole scam, CAG ही CAG था हर तरफ. So he also dropped the question. 2014 National Judicial Accountability Bill, it was brought up or it was started to be taken up. Question came on judiciary. Now money bill is in news very much. He can ask you a question because money bill is highly a technical area in polity. What is a money bill? Who can take decision on money bill? Can Supreme Court take an action against the presiding officer regarding money bill or not? ये सारे aspect, these are highly technical, which are to be specifically studied, not generally studied. तो उसके लिए you must at least know which area to focus. भाई pre के लिए, see, polity and economics, these are the two areas where the ambit is this. बहुत बड़ा ambit है. You should be able to at least touch all the areas once minimum. You should be familiar with all the areas. But few areas which were in news cannot be left at any cost. In पे focus करना है आपको. But then for that you have to have a whole list. And that's why I'm saying whatever word of polity you feel is important and coming in newspaper again and again, write that. And after every some time, let's say you have made a list, after a month, you start working on those words. I'll tell you after some time. But then just go through this. Polity means the typical polity topics like governor, president, preamble. Preamble was in news, sir. Was preamble in news? Yes, preamble was in news because government, there was a debate that there is a word called as secularism in the preamble. Secularism was not originally a word mentioned in the preamble. It was brought how? Very good. It was brought by 42nd Amendment Act. So something which was not originally in the minds of constitution maker, it should not be given overly importance. And it should be or it can be removed from the preamble. This was a kind of debate going on very recently. तो उसके लिए preamble पता तो होना चाहिए. Preamble again. Or for example, as I told you all these things, defamation. Now defamation was in news. You know why? Defamation news में क्यों था? Rahul Gandhi, Arvind Subramaniam Swamy, both, they filed an application in the Supreme Court. They filed a litigation in the Supreme Court that defamation as a crime should be removed. Defamation right now, defamation जानते हैं क्या है? मानहानि. I said something to you, you felt bad, and you put a case of defamation against me. Now this way we become intolerant. Now whatever little I say, you felt offended, you put a case against me. So this way I cannot express myself. Under the fear, under the pressure of you putting a case against me under defamation case, I will not be able to express myself freely. And if a person cannot express himself freely in democracy, then it is not democracy. Then there is no difference between India and China. So defamation is a very, it's a topic having multi-dimensions. Coming in newspaper, so he can put a question in mains on defamation, and that will be counted as a question in the polity. And there is a whole list which I'll give you once we start taking the classes. Okay. Second, governance. Ab governance kya cheez hai? Governance was not important in UPSC till 3 years back. In fact, recently also they have put a question on Chief Secretary. Chief Secretary is a topic which relates to the governance of the state. Iske andar aayega Chief Secretary. Now, if you don't know the word Chief Secretary, don't worry. It will be taken up because you have to start the coaching. No, it's an orientation kind of a thing. Questions which can become part of governance can be like let's say this is a word. Accountability. What are the tools of accountability available with the people of this country to keep the executive or the government on the right path? What are the tools of accountability, financial accountability, available with the parliament to enforce upon the executive? Executive का मतलब क्या होता है? Getting me, sir? Now, accountability अगर एक word आ गया, it can be seen as a part of something which we call as governance. Let's say there is something called as civil services or role of civil services in democracy. If you take up the syllabus, please go through the syllabus once. Because now, earlier it was only polity. Now it is polity and governance. So go through the syllabus and focus on the keywords. For example, in syllabus, he has specifically mentioned that role of civil services in democracy is a topic. I dedicate 3 classes on that. Because civil services itself is not just a small topic. It has number of other related dimensions. They say what is accountability, what is answerability, what is the meaning of civil services, who is a civil servant, how civil servant is different from a bureaucrat, what is chain of command, and all the terms. Now he can drop a term and ask you to explain what is the meaning of political neutrality shown by a civil servant. A political neutrality can be a word. अब आपको ये पता ही नहीं है what is political neutrality. So how will you write an answer? No. So these questions will become part of governance. There are a number of other areas also like e-governance, social audit, citizen charter, etc., etc. You see the syllabus, you'll get the whole list. Okay, sir? Question. One of the important areas, NGOs, non-governmental organizations, self-help groups. Question can come on that. If the question will come, it will come in paper 2 and that will be seen as part of governance. Like he can put a question how the changes in Foreign Contribution Regulation Act affected the free working of NGOs. Now he has put 2 questions in one question. He's also asking about NGOs and the role of NGOs, as well as he's asking about Foreign Contribution Regulation Act and the changes brought in that. A wide reading चाहिए ना इसके लिए. To answer this, you need not be just having superficial knowledge. You have to have wide reading. And I'll tell you the source also after some time. Governance, okay. Polity, you got an idea. What is polity? IR, you very well know. इसको बताने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. Government schemes. Rarely they will ask you what are the nitty-gritties of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Hardly they will ask you. Or what are the details of Digital India. वो आपसे ये नहीं पूछेंगे. They might ask you how Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is a step forward than Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan, both are on the same lines or not? Purpose तो दोनों का same ही है. But how are these schemes different from each other? That you have to study.
Not only the points of, you will feel that yeah, if I am preparing one scheme, automatically I'll be able to answer. आपको यही लगेगा ना, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू आर प्रिपेयर्ड स्वच्छ भारत अभियान, यू विल फील दैट आई प्रिपेयर्ड द टॉपिक, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. Still there will be one problem. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is in news, so you will prepare Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. But the previous schemes on the similar lines are not in news. You will leave them and they will ask you those only. As I told you that he might ask you how it is better than Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan. For that you need to know about Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan also, no? So this is where that register will help you. Register matlab, for example, if register is prepared by you, sir, if the scheme has come in the newspaper, you devote 3 pages to every topic. Now, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan launched by government, devote 3 pages. Write the details of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and search net, internet. Use internet na, sir? बहुत ज़्यादा use करते हो. Make good use of net. More use of net nahi, make good use of net. Apart from Facebook, use it to find the details of other things which are important for the exam. जैसे कि Nirmal Bharat Abhiyan, I am again stressing on that. Or other schemes which were for the same purpose. उसको ढूंढो Google से. And nobody will give you that on your own. You prepare on your own. Half a page on Nirmal Bharat, half a page on other such schemes which were made for the similar purpose. For example, e-governance, now Pradhan Mantri Modi, he is very much fond of technology. Now, e-governance is the motto. Now, what were the schemes started by government for e-governance? E-governance, understand or not? E-governance means running the government through the use of technology. Electronic governance. उसके लिए schemes तो पता होनी चाहिए ना. E-governance is not something which is brought by this government only. Previously also, we had number of schemes where digitization of government working was in place. For example, recently Delhi High Court, it started a project in which they wanted to convert every written record into a digital record. किसी का भी नाम डालो, whatever case you want, you put it in the Google or on the application of the court, you will get the detail of it. इसे कहते हैं e-governance. ये भी तो e-governance है. Somebody sitting in the Tihar jail, he is able to teleconference with a judge in Supreme Court or High Court. This is e-governance. So this is not that the new government has brought e-governance. तो आपको पता होना चाहिए what were the initial initiatives in this area. But that will, as I told you, no institution can give you in one place. थोड़ा आपने आप भी मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. You come to the class, take the notes and do a little bit homework also through net. As I told you, dedicate the register and 3 pages on every topic. Defamation, parliamentary secretary, office of profit, and do not just write the factual aspect. Write multi-dimensional aspects. उससे जुड़े हुए जितने भी aspect हैं. For example, you came to know that there is something called as free speech article, freedom of speech and expression article. Article 19. 19A or 19.1 or 19.1A? 19.1A. ये speech and expression है, freedom of speech and expression. Now, if this has come in exam, do not just be contented कि यार ठीक है I have done fundamental right in class, I know what is article 19.1A. Do a little bit homework on that also. For example, net खोलो, उसमें डालो 19.1A and do not put more than half an hour on every important topic. आधे घंटे से ज़्यादा मत दो, otherwise it will take all your time and energy also. Okay, little bit effort on your side. So I told you about government schemes also. Make a comparative analysis of the schemes, not just the factual aspect of it. ठीक है sir? Any problem in the weightage aspect? Weightage clear? Types of questions. first of all, before you prepare, buy a solved previous year question book. किसी भी ब्रांड की ले लो, you buy it of Vishal, Arihant, whatever. वो जरूर खरीद लो. And even before you start, you go through the questions. At least you must know what kind of questions are being asked in exam, how it is different from SSC. Sometimes people feel that the way exams questions are asked in PCS or SSC, this is the way you ask the question. But UPSC is good in one thing. First of all, unpredictability. Second, types of question which they put. They can make a question from an area where you cannot even imagine that it can be a potential source of question, and they will first of all give you a statement which can become difficult to decipher. इस statement का मतलब क्या है, ये समझना भी मुश्किल हो जाता है. Then the bigger problem is that they will give you 4 options and say choose the right answer, though all the 4 appear to be right. चारों ठीक लगेंगे, आंसर किसे करना है? All the 4 options appear to be right, but then you have to choose the best. That requires a kind of orientation of preparation, and that comes with practice. But practice के लिए better you buy the previous year question book and then just go through it once, एक बार, and then you yourself will see the kind of question which they put. For example, they can put you more of these questions, but then these questions can also make a difference if you are weak on this point. For example, 2 times they have put a same question, not similar question, same question. What is 10th schedule? ये 2 बार आया है, same question without any modification. 10th schedule क्या है सर? Anti-defection law. If I am not wrong, it is 1997, 2008 or something like that. 2 बार same question. They can ask you another factual type of question. For example, they will give you number of committees: Public Accounts Committee, Estimates Committee, Committee on Public Sector Undertaking, Ethics Committee, and they will ask you which is the biggest committee. ये भी factually तो है. How many members are in which committee is a core factual question, but they ask you. So do not think that factual things are not asked. They are indeed asked. Second, they might put you an application-based question. Application based, for example, you have read all the facts of PRI. PRI क्या सर? Panchayati Raj Institution. सारे facts पढ़ लिए. How are the members selected? How many members are selected? What is the reservation given to women? All these things. But he did not ask you anything. He asked you application based. For example, he said the fundamental object of developing Panchayati Raj institution. Sir, Panchayati Raj institution, you know or not? Local self-government brought through 74th or 73rd Amendment Act. If you do not know, no problem at all. It's only an orientation. It's for the people who are aware of these things. ये question आ गया in exam. They gave you 4 options. What are the fundamental objects of forming Panchayati Raj institution? This question came in exam. You can give multiple options also, no problem. They also give this. Will this be an answer? Participation of people in development? ये होगा? होगा sir, ये होगा. Political accountability? होगा? Democratic decentralization, is this a purpose? Yes, इसमें किसी को problem नहीं है. Financial resource mobilization, is this a purpose? अब देखो, if you see, even this answer appeared to be true or not. Because the people who are working at the local level, sarpanch, if they are also from a political party, now if they are not working according to your wishes, you remove them in the next election. This is nothing but political accountability. So this should be an answer or not? Even panchayats have their own sources of revenue. Panchayats can generate revenue or not. For example, if there is a mela, fair, they put tax on that. If there is a road going on, they put octroi on that, chungi. So they also accumulate finance. So this should be an answer or not? That will not be an answer. Even if it appears to be an answer. Sir? Yes. Because these two things were not the main objects. Question kya hai? What is the fundamental object of forming Panchayati Raj institution? What was the basic reason we formed the third level government at the local level? But they gave two options also, democratic decentralization and participation of people in development. Participation of people in development is equally effective answer. Because democratic decentralization itself means participation of people. Okay, sir? Now, how you come to know which will be the answer, which will not? It requires a kind of pulse, which comes with practice. बार बार practice करने से ये चीजें समझ में आती हैं. But anyways, I wanted to tell you that these are the two major areas from which UPSC put question. पहला factual, other confusing. Factual, there is one answer, सबको वही पता है. But in these areas, there can be ambiguity regarding the options, and ambiguity can be reduced with only practice. Practice of questions. Mains may be two parts, factual, analytical. Factual, he can ask you, please write down the recommendation. वो please तो नहीं लगाएगा. He will write down the recommendation of Sarkariya Commission with regard to the role of governor. Only an example, sir. He can ask you recommendation of Sarkariya Commission regarding the role of governor. For example, Sarkariya Commission said that governor should not be somebody from the state only, from politically active in the state. If you want to have governor of Uttarakhand, he should not be somebody who had ever been politically active in Uttarakhand. ये एक recommendation थी. Though these will be dealt in class, but I am just giving an example कि ऐसे question भी आ सकते हैं. Or for example, he might ask you, what is the take of second Administrative Reform Commission on the importance of e-governance? अभी क्या है? Factual है. For this you need to have little bit knowledge of second ARC. Or he might ask you, what are the modifications brought in FCRA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act? If again it's a factual question. Now they can ask you these questions and you have to answer them in about 200 words. पढ़ के जाना पड़ेगा सर. Analytical. They might put you not question on, अब ये क्या था? Give the recommendation of Sarkariya Commission on the governor. Here he might ask you, should the office of governor be abolished now? Or he can ask you a question, has PRI served the purpose of women empowerment? Though let me tell you, these are the simplest questions as per the syllabus of UPSC. But then to answer them, you need not only know the facts. इनको answer करने के लिए सिर्फ facts की जरूरत नहीं है सर. These are view based questions. Views. These are views based questions which are रखने पड़ेंगे आपको. You have to think very divergently on these issues. What should we abolish the office of governor? For that, at least you should know the importance of the office of governor. And then you should know what problem is emerging because of governor, which is affecting the polity of this country. Governor के होने से problem क्या हो रही है? और ये एक दिन में डेवलप नहीं होगा, and this cannot be developed in one class also. It's a process. I'll tell you how to approach this. But then I just wanted to tell you, these are the main areas from which they can ask you question. These can be the type of questions you can get in your exam. Clarity or any doubt? If you see, somebody asks about the dynamic nature of the question, sir. The questions are not very dynamic, let me tell you. Dynamic, we feel it's dynamic, reason being, they put a question from an area which we felt is very or least important. उसको छोड़ गए थे और वो ही आ गया. We felt the paper is dynamic. Paper तो वैसी है sir. But then yes, answering them requires again practice. Practice is required at both the levels. Source. Earlier also I took these kind of open session here only. And I explained very well in the class that I think that point got missed because I did not stress on it much. Aaj I am telling it explicitly. Never develop irrigation that right now I am preparing for pre, then I will prepare for mains. Preparation of pre and mains should go hand in hand. वो अलग नहीं है. Because unless, अब हम सोचते क्या है, we think that when we are preparing for pre, we are focusing on the facts. But when we are preparing for mains, we focus on the views. This is not the case. I gave you example just now. In pre also, they are asking you factual as well as analytical question. In mains also, they are asking you factual as well as analytical question. ये segregation बनाना ही नहीं. Right from the day one of your preparation, you prepare for polity. Bas. After that, just add on few factual things as a topping, and that will be your complete preparation. For example, if you are preparing for pre, come to the class and come daily. Be alert in the class all through. Whatever he is saying, he is not dictating. Even if he is explaining something, you write down that explanation, because that explanation is coming from the mind or his experience, which he has not come with the notes. Class notes जो dictate देंगे, plus explanation which he will give you. ये book है Lakshmikant. Very good book. Reason being, he has covered almost every topic in 3-4 pages. But then here is a problem. Lakshmikant has also done one thing. He has almost in most of the areas copy-paste the provisions of the constitution in the book, which sometimes the language is very jargonized. Kuch areas mein, like citizenship, fundamental right, or the basic philosophy of the constitution. Explanation is not that much. Okay. So when you go through a topic which is done in the class, let's say preamble was taken up in the class, take all the notes, understand them, and the very same day, once you go home, you revise the notes. उसी दिन उसको revise कर लो, preamble. A class which goes for 3 hours, revision will take you hardly half an hour. After that, the very next day, you go through the same topic from Lakshmikant. If preamble was taken up in the class today, read it from Lakshmikant tomorrow itself. Don't give a gap. And if you feel that there are few facts given in the book which were not given in the class for a specific obvious reasons, then you write those notes or facts in your class notes. वो जो extra information Lakshmikant से मिली आपको, the extra information which you got from Lakshmikant, you add them in the class notes. And there will always be some facts which will be given in the book, because see, in the class, let's say 40 classes or 35 classes or even in 70 classes, polity and again economics and geography, these areas, their ambit is so big, you cannot cover each and every fact. For example, class cannot tell you that who was the first president of India or who was the second vice president of India. So difficult question or not? Highly difficult question. These are given in Lakshmikant, or order of precedence. Who is the most important dignitary? Who is the second most? This way. Everything is given in Lakshmikant in a concise form. So for that, Lakshmikant, mostly for factual things, or the things which are not dealt in the class. Then they give you a magazine, monthly magazine each month, current affairs. Drink the magazine. समझ रहे हो? Read it so many times. In fact, drink each and everything. Read it so many times that it should flow on your veins. Reason I am saying so, because the more number of times you revise the notes, every time you find a new clarity. You revise the notes 100 times. When you revise them 101st time, a new concept will get clear to your mind. ये आप करके देखना. And discuss the things with your friends. Then newspaper is indispensable. Now you can say that we are already doing the monthly magazine. Why to do newspaper? Monthly magazine will of course give you a good detail of the area. But then there will be multiple dimensions which cannot be covered in the magazine. किसी भी magazine में वो dimension cover नहीं हो सकते. For example, if pro and anti of an issue, like Times of India, they come with the edition on one particular day. I think it's on Wednesday. They give an issue, editorial page. They give an issue. On one side they write for, on the other side they write against. दोनों view आ गए ना. Now let's ask you a question. Anti-surrogacy bill. अभी चल रहा है debate. Now surrogacy is good or bad? Should we allow this or not? Capital punishment should be banned or not? These are the areas where your nominal information is sufficient. You require extra information, extra viewpoints. और वो कहाँ से आएंगे? From where they will come? And Indian Express, I am saying so, reason being, Indian Express is now becoming more exam oriented. For example, it is coming with a paper, with a page called as explained. Explained लिखा आता है उसमें. They discuss a typical concept. For example, what is a money bill? Or how money bill is different from financial bill. They will discuss that in that page. ठीक है sir? Clear till now? इसके ऊपर, as I told you that pre and mains cannot be segregated. You just add two things more. One is, anybody? Sir? TV debates, highly important. You spare half an hour or 1 hour each day. For example, you're having your dinner, that time you can see the debates. Because again I said you, view building will require divergent information, divergent views. For example, I am from political party, one political party. I will expose the government policy or the lacuna in the government policy. The other person from the government, he will support the policy. And as an aspirant of civil services, you require both the things. You need not only just appreciate the scheme or depreciate the scheme. You have to highlight on the weak areas also, strong areas, and the potential solutions. और वो तभी आएंगे जब you see the debates. But then be very cautious. कौन सा debate नहीं देखना है? कौन सा sir? There is one channel where kind of bullfighting takes place on daily basis. Avoid that because you will learn nothing and time will be wasted. Times now. उसमें जो debate आता है Earlier the quality was good, but nowadays they're just fighting with each other. You cannot listen anything. In fact, after some time you will feel irritated. So better है you see the debate on Rajya Sabha TV, any debate, रोज आते हैं. And CNN IBN, good for current affairs, NDTV, 9 o'clock they put these kind of debates, 8:30 or 9. ठीक है sir, किसी को भी पकड़ लो. And the last thing here is ARC, see, ARC report, any committee recommendation, or DD Basu, for example, he said DD Basu, Subhash Kashyap, do not read them. Because agar wo aap padhoge, if you will read that, what will teacher read? And what he will teach you? Only in a lighter sense, sir. What I mean to say is that you have limited time, limited energy. Do not read everything. When he will give you class notes, he will incorporate those things on his own. Only if you feel that I am not getting the clarity in the class, then only you should run after the books. Varna hota kya hai? We have this tendency, whatever book we see in the market, we buy it. And we read every book once. We bought 10 books, we read it once. Now instead of reading 10 books once, you read one book 10 times. Ek kitab pakad lo, it should be good. And I am saying why you have to read the book also. You read only class notes and Lakshmikant. Bas. Uske baad the kind, you see the question yourself. The kind of question they are asking, you will be in a good position to answer them just by these sources. बाहर जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. I can recommend you a list. But फायदा क्या है? Time तो है नहीं ना. One thing which you can surely do is, though they are putting a very good work in the monthly magazine, they are incorporating the things from Yojana Kurukshetra also, second ARC also, and other reports and committees, like Prakash Singh committee came on Jat agitation. So they have incorporated that in the monthly magazine. There is a new right, derived fundamental right to reputation. They have added in the monthly magazine with detail also. सिर्फ नाम नहीं दिया, उसका explain भी किया. So need not burden yourself beyond this. And I am saying Yojana Kurukshetra only because they are very small, concise. Do not read the whole Yojana Kurukshetra also. Read it selectively. For example, there is a case study. अभी क्वेश्चन आ चुका एग्जाम में. Self-help group bank linkage program. This question came. Self-help group bank linkage program. It's a scheme. How it has actually helped poverty reduction. Normally you will not find it anywhere, but it came in Kurukshetra. Now, for example, he's discussing a scheme, how it has succeeded. You read only that point. Read selectively. They may write an article, for example, I am a farmer growing potatoes. Now, how I am doing better than other farmers is not relevant. But if it's a government scheme, usko zarur padhna hai aapne. Yojana and Kurukshetra. Very small book, you can finish that within 2 days. Nothing more is required in terms of sources. And just let me repeat 3 things जो बहुत ज़रूरी है. First of all, I am again emphasizing, do not see them differently. Combine preparation at the later stage, and moreover, one more thing, keep on practicing the questions. More you practice the question, you accumulate facts also. वहाँ से भी तो information मिलेगी ना आपको. Every new information which you come across through the test series, you write down in the register. Prepare the register, I am saying it again. Prepare one register where you keep on writing the important areas which were in news, and also prepare your own notes, 2 pages, not more than that. After searching Google. आपका अपना view क्या है उसके ऊपर? So that it happens like that way in polity only you will be able to have 25 to 30 areas prepared by yourself. And believe me, the areas which are prepared by yourself with your own effort, they will get committed to your memory. If you just read the magazines, because the work is done by somebody else, that will just go here 50%. थोड़ा सा अपने आप भी मेहनत करो. And therefore I am saying, do not run after every book. Do not buy Lakshmikant Governance. Do not even buy Subhash Kashyap or DD Basu. Only if you feel that coming to class, I am not able to get the clarity, then only you buy them. Otherwise not. and never miss a news which is coming in paper, because that will be the source of mostly the questions in exam. Right, sir? Any question which you want to ask? Done? Hai? Thank you.